And we are live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast, and I'm one of your hosts, Ian Eatwell, and I'm joined by Harrison Ngo
What up?
and Luc Tran.
I'm back.
He's back. We talk about what's going on in the nerd world, ranging from movies, comics, to video games. And if you're a new listener, we'll start by talking about what we've been up to and any cool news or anything like that. Before jumping to our main topic, which today is rogue games, roguelites, whatever you want to call it. But first, Luc's back.
What's up?
He's back again.
He's alive.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. I was talking to Harrison for the podcast. It kind of just like once a year, my body's just like, hey, the season's changing. It's time to get sick for a week or two. It just happens. Because I think it happened last year too. So,
dude, I used to have that happen all the time. And I think for us, we found out that I was just allergic to like Christmas trees or like pine trees.
Oh, the pine trees.
Yeah, because I would get sick around like December to February, in that range somewhere. I'd just get like really, really sick and get like these massive sinus infections. And we like stopped. We got like a fake Christmas tree, like an artificial one, and then there was also this pine tree in our backyard, and that ended up getting for a separate reason. Just we had to take it down. But and then I stopped getting sick. It's like, what?
Like I'm pretty sure it's allergies because like, so while I was sick, I was taking my asthma medication, but that didn't really help as much.
Oh.
So it's just like, I'm pretty sure it was just everything around is dying because it's autumn, and so everything just hits me at once. So it's whatever.
They're trying to take them with you.
It gave
you
me
with them.
a lot of time to play some games, which was kind of nice.
Ooh, hell yeah! Did you take time off work?
No, I was still working. I didn't do a whole lot.
Hell yeah!
Outside, but like I started playing Genshin Impact.
What?
I heard about that.
Like, so my brother and one of our other friends plays.
Mm-hmm.
And besides League, I don't really get to play a lot of games with my brother since the time difference. So it's just something to play, like if we're both on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm like adventure rank 4 or something. I'm not far at all, and it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not gonna like be playing it a whole lot, but it's
Have
also,
you gotten to play with him yet?
No, you have to be like adventure rank 16 to play co-op. So I'm kind of forced to play solo, and part of it is like I feel like that jump in gacha games from like on the mobile device, it's all very well contained, and you don't feel overwhelmed. But playing Genshin, I'm just completely overwhelmed about like all the stuff I need to do. Because they introduce like one, I think it's just like there's the open world, and you have all these things you have to like physically move your character to go to do. Whereas traditionally in a mobile gacha game, it's just like a menu. But
I see what you're saying.
They tend to do better tutorials about like, hey, you need this resource to do this specific thing, and you get that resource by doing this. And in Genshin, because it's more of a traditional game, you kind of have to read. You have to look for items and figure out what they're used for. So
it's like a more involved gacha.
Yeah, it's more overwhelming than I was expecting for a gacha game. And because it's like I'm currently a free to play player, I'm trying to be really careful about what I use my currency for. So I'm trying to make sure like if I use this, is that bad? And it's just it just adds on the fact that I feel overwhelmed. But
one of those like open world things. I get that with open world games a lot. But did you have a problem with it, Harrison, or were you kind of? Because I also open world is kind of like your thing too. So you might not get that.
I think I got bored because there's not much to do. Because after you get all the waypoints, that's just how you travel after a while. So it's essentially kind of the same thing. It's the open world aspect of you have to get all the waypoints, and it makes it easier to just travel. But you should also only be in the opening area, which to me was like not terribly big. But once it expands to the second part, that's when I'm like, all right, this is actually open world. But it's pretty empty. Like it's way more like I guess my one thing after playing it for a while was with Breath of the Wild. This is where a lot I don't want to compare it to Breath of the Wild as much anymore because in the end of the day, it's not like the only thing that's the same is like probably walking around, gliding, and the climbing. Other than that, it's like nothing
like it. Yeah, it borrows some aspects, but it's not actually.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's the cool part.
I feel like the core gameplay loop becomes super apparent that it's a gacha game.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not something you're meant to play for a good amount of time unless you're paying money.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And, I mean,
because the core gameplay loop at the end is basically teleport to go do your dailies, and then teleport to kill your like weekly bosses or whatever, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Someone
which is the most gacha. That's typical gacha.
Yeah, and I feel like that threw off a lot of people who don't play a lot of gachas.
Yeah, everyone's it's like the free hooked a lot of people, but it definitely hooked a lot of people that weren't used to playing gachas.
Yeah.
Because I think
because they're like, well, like, what's the end game? Like, this is the end game.
This is the end
just you grind.
You're playing it, kid,
for a long amount of time, unless you speed up the grind by paying money.
Yeah,
because both my brother and my friend who also played me, like, we've played a few gacha games before, so we kind of understood what we're getting into.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. But
yeah,
I'm just surprised you downloaded it because I know there was a new update that literally dropped the same day as like every game.
Yeah, that's the power of my fiber internet.
Oh man,
it took me like literally like 2.5 minutes, and I was done downloading.
Yeah,
wow. So
because I remember seeing one of my friends. He just snapped it, and he was like, "All 3 games I'm invested in has an update today," and it was like Destiny, Genshin, and what was it, Valorant or some shit. I was like, "Huh, get fucked."
Wow, there's a lot of things then. Valorant, Destiny, League had a huge like item update.
We've had our preseason.
Genshin, jeez.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, but so I did that. I think I've toned down my Hades play a lot. I'm playing like I'll do maybe 1 to 2 runs a day, just to kind of keep myself fresh.
Nice.
I guess the most interesting thing maybe is, do you guys know the Marvel character Nova?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
Let me look at the picture.
I'm getting into his comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man. So
I'm reading Annihilation right now.
Oh.
You're reading what?
The Annihilation comic line.
Is that done? I forget. That's done, right? Or is that the ongoing one?
I'm pretty sure it's done. I'm pretty sure it's done.
Okay. I remember hearing about it, and I was like, oh, I should get into that.
I've seen this guy before. Yeah.
He's usually tied with Guardians, right? That's the one? Just to make sure I'm not crazy.
Or the
Guardians. Whole space, like
he's definitely a spacey boy.
The space, yeah.
Like he's had a lot of interactions with Guardians of the Galaxy. He's had interactions with Thanos.
Yeah.
He, for a brief period of time, he was like in a relationship with Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the reason they call him Nova is that he's like related to the Nova Corps from Xandar.
Yep. That's the one.
But really, it's because in one of the tabletops I'm in, one of the character I play, it has like inspirations from Nova. So I was like, I might as well read the source material and like figure out more what this dude's about.
Hell yeah.
He's got titty lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I do like his design actually a lot.
Yeah, it's a great design. It's got like rule of 3s going on.
Checking out. Oh yes, you're right. Okay, I forgot what his new or his like.
Some of them have it. It's like 3 like Tony Stark chest things, but others it's like gold plates.
My was just more. I don't remember what his armor looks like.
What are you talking
it's
about?
It's different too because from the Annihilation line, there's kind of 2 Novas that people talk about. Because there's, I think, Sam is the kid.
Yes,
and then Richard is like the older guy.
Right.
So yeah, I'm reading the Annihilation deals with Richard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
But yeah, getting into those comics.
I forget. Don't they just refer to him as like just Nova? With Richard's just Nova, and then the other one's just Kid Nova? Or
yeah,
right.
It's technically like Kid Nova is who do they refer to him as?
Yeah. Man.
And it's cool. Like I like. I've always been more interested in and it's kind of why I like Marvel comic lines more. Is I like the cosmic level characters, because like in DC comics, I really like Green Lantern. Not like a specific Green Lantern, but I just like the core and the fact that there are multiple cores that span the galaxy. Kind of like with Nova, like the Nova Corps is a thing that they have their own sectors and they patrol, and they're kind of like on a bigger scale than someone like Hawkeye or Iron Man.
You know, the more you describe the similarities, I'm like, I'm not surprised that you like Nova now, or just like his comic line. Yeah,
compared to like the Green Lanterns, you mean?
Yeah, or it's like it's like now that you mentioned like the similarity, I was it makes sense why you like Nova, or like his comic line. So
yeah, that's been pretty fun. It's fun to like, because I'm reading another book, and it's not as interesting. So like I'll read a few chapters and I'm like, I'm gonna go read Nova now.
So are you reading like on a site, or did you purchase like the?
No, on a site.
On a site.
I'm probably like next time we go to a Comic-Con, because God, I want to go to a convention. It is driving me insane. Right? I'm gonna look for some Nova merch because.
Dude, I'm down.
It's pretty cool.
It's been so long.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Heck yeah.
What have you been up to, Harrison?
What have I been up to? Not reading comics as much as I. It's my dumb reason is because I want to get.
It's just another one last tangent.
Yeah.
Because I remember they talked about I think it was Kevin Feige before they kind of really got into the MCU, or maybe it was a specific phase of the MCU. They were talking about we want to do a Nova movie, and like now that I'm getting into Nova, I'm like, God, I wish we had a Nova movie.
Yeah. All those movies got pushed to next year too, so if anything, it's gonna be a while with their timeline. If anything,
I mean, if they threw them into like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'd be down.
Well, because I suspect it would be the next person, because they already teased Adam Warlock, so that was the big tease that everyone freaked out at the end of the end credits.
Yeah,
or I think 2. I forgot. Yeah,
the second one. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, because everyone's like guessing for Guardians, it's like, okay, it has to be Nova or Adam Warlock next. So
yeah, like honestly, for me, it's either Guardians 3 or if they like when they do Captain Marvel 2, if they throw them in, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, I can see that. Hell, soon we'll talk more about Marvel movies next year at this rate. Jeez,
maybe
it's been a whole year. Oh, is this crazy?
Fuck. I mean, it might be even longer.
Yeah, at this rate. Anyway,
what have you been up to?
So yeah, Destiny expansion dropped on Tuesday, so that was one thing. I've been playing because I still have a group that plays. Like, it's crazy how much they play though. Like, because they're trying to get ready for the raid day 1, and I'm like, you guys can handle that, and you'll just Sherpa me later.
I don't even know why they're trying to do the raid day 1.
Like,
do they have 6?
No, they have 6. Yeah.
Okay.
So one of them, he has another raid. He actually has another clan that they play a lot more. So I think it's just like 2 of them that are playing with his clan, and then later they said they'll Sherpa us later. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't want to. They want to figure it out. I'm like, that's fine. You guys can do it. So I'm just playing playing at my own pace at this rate. But I already beat
mad respect to them, because some of the Destiny material is just bonkers big brain stuff that I just like. I don't want to sit here and figure this out.
Are they legitimately trying to get are they trying to do a day 1 completion?
Yeah, they just want to do day 1 completion. Yeah,
nice.
So I was like, props to them.
No thanks.
Yeah, like they already. I mean, the whole thing is
I follow like 2 of the biggest like Destiny content people, and it's always for them. It's like they talk about just how miserable it is.
Yeah,
trying to do, but they complete for worlds first, so that's probably a lot different.
Yeah, that's different.
But
because I think if you just complete it within the first month, you get some shit, and they're like huge. They're huge into it, so I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then I was like, all right, we could just try it later. But it's just nice because now with a lot of, because since you guys haven't played in a while, like they, like, you know, all the pinnacle stuff or like the exotics that you
you can just buy them now.
You can just buy them now, which I'm like, that's honestly is fine to me.
That's so stupid.
It's, to me, it's like, it's fine if, because it's kind of like, if you wanted to do it, like if you were actually into the game, you would have like probably played more at that point. So that's at least there's their way to let people still get weapons that it's like, oh, I didn't get that because I didn't play that season. But at least now it's like, okay, well, if you just didn't play, that's up to you. Because it's still pretty expensive to get, and you have to get the mats for it still. So it's still, you still have to work for, like, you still, like, for instance, it's like one of the weapons is 2 golf balls or something like that. So, or what's it called? I call it golf balls, but it's like it's the orb shit. I forgot at the end, but
yeah, the ascendant,
yeah, orbs or whatever. So I mean, the work, you still have to put in work, but it's like, I don't, like, you just kind of miss out on getting the cool story on certain things maybe. But I also, well, for things like Lumina, I was like stuck, or I think Lumina, the one Luke for Gambit, where you had to like deny someone from, wait, what?
The hand cannon?
Yeah, the hand cannon.
Well, because there's 2 for.
Yeah, there's 2. Sorry, not yeah. Lumina is the one that's like the opposite of Thorn, I think, right? Something
like lore wise, they're supposed to be the antithesis of each other. But
right,
I remember one of the steps for Lumina was trying to get the not on my watch medal, which is to kill an invader within 10 seconds.
I had that, and I'm like, fuck this. I'll just wait until next season where I could just get it. And I was like, that's fine.
That doesn't seem too tough.
No,
well, it's within 10 seconds of the invader coming in, you have to kill them, and the invader the invader cannot have killed anybody.
Yeah. So
you have to trust your teammates to not be
like,
morons.
no, it's not that it's impossiple, because I've definitely gotten it.
It would just take a while for sure.
Yeah, but I just don't want to play Gambit.
I see.
I think that's the main thing. Is like, I just don't want to play Gambit. I'll grind out strikes in Crucible, but Gambit's like the last thing. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, yeah.
Fair.
Well, I haven't played the new version either, but anyway. So
did they change it?
Yeah, it's like they combined Prime and regular together.
Oh,
so I think it's just
I
one
knew about
long
that.
round.
That happened a while ago, right?
Long round or something. No, it happened this season, but they've talked about it for forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, finished the story, I think 2 days. It only because, like, literally, because I had a half day, and the moment I had I just got on with all the other guys, just like played like through the entire story. And
nice.
It's like, compared to like Shadowkeep was kind of like meh, but this one actually felt like Forsaken. So it was pretty. It was pretty good for what it was. I was like, that's fine. Cool. But I guess my one thing was like finish the campaign, but then there's still stuff to do after, and it still has like lore and like story related things. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Because we were playing earlier, like with one of our friends. You probably heard like
I heard you guys
about it.
Yeah,
because the stranger actually talks about stuff, and it's like, wait, this is actually cool, like storytelling. Wait, this is cool. Holy fuck,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so just playing that. I have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I just haven't played it I played the prologue, and then I think I just started playing I'm now an adult, and I can actually I'm about to start doing stuff, but
okay,
still
so
in
you're
the starting area.
Like
I'm not even that far.
I'm
literally just
the real gameplay stuff.
Yeah. So I wanted, because I've heard more stuff about it, but I'm like, all right, I got it. I mean, I got it through AMD, like when I upgraded my part, and they just gave it for free that month.
Right. So you might as well.
Yeah. I was like, if it's not as good, we'll see. So I'll probably give like a better I mean, I don't want to say review. It's just like what I think of the game.
Yeah.
After. Oh, yeah.
Is what was I going to say? Oh, is it like the others in terms of you like spend a little time in the future and then you go back into the Animus, that kind of thing?
So in the current quote unquote trilogy, like the modern, like the newest ones, you don't go in modern day as much, actually. It feels like you stay in the world more often. So far I haven't, But in the
I mean, like in the other modern ones.
Yeah. You do.
Oh, okay.
It's like maybe once or twice, but it's not
okay.
like you have to go out as much, or a whole lot of times. Because I felt like it was like that gray area of like they had to balance that. Because I remember one Assassin's Creed was like, oh, you had to they kept pulling you out. I'm like, stop! I just want to be in whatever.
Stop! Don't pull me out.
So then now it's like I think they handle it a little bit better. But
yeah, gotcha.
But also at this point, it's like the story is just kind of it is what it is. Because I think after the whole Desmond arc, it's just kind of like, oh, let's just explore worlds, but they're trying to figure out what to do or how to tie it in. So
yeah, it seems like after Desmond, it was more of like a kind of like what do we do now? Or maybe not what do we do, but they're focusing more on just
they're still
like
trying
you said, exploring
to like
different areas rather than
it feels like they're still trying to keep the modern day relevant.
Yeah,
and they're just trying to figure out how to make it relevant.
This one definitely like they touched on it in a different because like the other like the ones before Origins and after Desmond or so 3, it felt like, oh, you're a part of this you're finally an assassin but they're hacking. It's like it's kind of this weird. It felt like what's that Watch Dogs-esque type shit, and it just didn't feel good. It was like this is kind of weird because it would be like, oh, they're you are the assassin. Like they'll hack into your TV and you're like whatever and try to like you're working with them and all that shit. And I'm like, all right, this is weird. While with Origins they finally have like a character you can like you're actually tied to in a sense. Like it's a archaeologist girl or whatever the fuck. Or I don't remember honestly because that's how much they touch on it. Anyway,
yeah, I feel like I'm stunted by the amount of thoughts in my head right now.
I was like, yes.
Like, basically, I feel like they've thrown overboard the whole like story of it, and it's just like, let's keep going in the direction that people enjoy, which is the like staying in the past and being like a physical assassin rather than like some kind of like future tech assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's still like the whole like, oh, animus can affect you, blah blah blah. Yeah, they still keep that because lore. But I think it's just more like, oh, let's just focus on the history and how Isu affects history. So I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. Like, sure, why not? Because it's like literally at this point, it's like if you play Assassin's Creed, you know what you're getting yourself into at this point. So it's like you literally just, and I mean, I like it still, so I'm like, fuck it, why not? But
it's a really interesting like. It's just interesting how that's become a thing. Like, cause usually I feel like Medium has to like
evolve,
rely on a story.
Oh yeah.
But they can just like chuck it out and be like, all right, we can put together this like story as like a secondary thing, and the main thing be this, which I guess is something that all games can kind of do to an extent.
Wait,
I just think it's interesting how they.
What do you mean? I'm confused.
Well, like to an extent, all games can like make the story secondary to like the actual gameplay.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think that's just if you're into those kind of games, sure. I think that's the thing. Like, it's the whole the experience is the story versus the actual story. Which I mean, to a point, I think that's a detriment. Because like my big example is Metal Gear Solid 5, where there's almost no fucking story, but everyone has fun stories to talk about the game, but.
Right.
Meanwhile, like my brother would be like, "This is bad because I want more Metal Gear story." So I'm like, "That's fine. That's true."
Yeah.
But
Snake.
Honestly, for the past week, or really just, I haven't done. Or actually, I've been watching Mandalorian. Have you guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't skim over that.
No. It's I mean, there's only been 2 episodes, and they're just fun. They're fun. I don't want to. Wait, have you guys watched? I forget.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I will.
You're just gonna binge watch it, aren't you?
Huh? No. Okay. I mean, I'll catch up, but I'm not gonna binge the entire thing. I think next week or the week after I'll be caught up, so we can talk about it.
Hell
yeah! If we want to, are you gonna watch it all, Luke?
I don't really have any plans to. I don't really have any plans to.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, so far it's just fun. It has. It feels like it's like.
Is it more like space cowboy stuff?
It is definitely more space cowboy, but it's also just cool for them to I think it's really just fun to watch him explore more of the universe. Like, just not like, oh, there is a big impending doom. Wow, this guy's just literally, like, not saying like delivering baby, like the child is like crazy. Like, I don't know. I guess on a scale, it's different, you know, like compared to like the trilogies and all, or whatever it's called now. Fuck, how many? But compared to the Skywalker saga, it's like, oh, this is like on a
trilogy of trilogies.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah,
it's just more space cowboy, and it's just fun.
Cool.
But also last week's episode, if anyone's seen it, it's a lot of stress. It's just it's just stressful. It's like, Baby Yoda, stop doing that, please.
Oh,
and once you watch it, let me know, and you'll get what I mean. It's like episode 2.
All right.
Yeah.
There's something about the like Star Wars universe that I found really funny. Was somebody was talking about it, and I was watching gameplay of Squadrons, and in one of the sections where you talk to characters, one of the characters says something. This is getting like deep into like Star Wars nerd talk, but one of the characters says like, this bantha-brained person, and one of the people that was playing it, they were like, huh, weird. Animal on a outer planet that like not a lot of people know about or have been to. Kind of weird that they know about banthas. Does everybody know about banthas? And like, why has it become like colloquial like words that like bantha fodder, you know?
Yeah.
But it's this like one planet that they're on that's like not like it's in the outer rim, and like not a lot of people go there. I just thought that was like, oh yeah, that's really funny to think about. Why is that such like a popular Star Wars vernacular term?
I forget, where is that? When is that place? What time period is that place?
Hoth. It's old. Like when you see the banthas?
No, the Squadrons.
Oh, Squadrons. I believe.
Or is it just a cross?
It's when the Empire's fallen. So it's between.
Oh yeah, actually.
I actually might have this wrong, but I think it's between the first trilogy, like the first one's made, and the newest made.
Just so you know, Ian, our editor's gonna fucking kill you if you say this wrong.
Yeah, right. She's biggest Star Wars nerd. Yeah, I think it's between those, like the beginning and the end of those two. Yeah.
Cool.
I just thought that was funny.
Anyway, tangent done. I haven't done much because it's literally just been anticipation for games dropping on Tuesday. Just to see if I can get a new gen console just for the fun of it, but obviously not. But you know.
Yeah, right.
It's PS5 drops today, and it's just been fun to watch people be like, I can't get it, I'm upset. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Wow. Yeah. I think we've talked about this before. I'm just surprised at how insane it is to get a console now.
It's insane how strong the bots have become.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, like just how many people are just trying to scalp one.
Yeah, that's the ass part.
Yeah.
What about you, Ian?
Let's see. Yeah, what have I been doing? I've been playing more Hades. We're gonna talk about that. I've been playing Magic. I played a little bit of the new League items, which are bonkers, and that's changed a lot of things. I haven't watched too much. Yeah, that's about it. I think it's been Hades, Magic, and League of Legends. Been kind of my things right now.
Oh yeah.
Magic hasn't. Nothing's happening in Magic. Just the meta changes and stuff, or not really. It's actually like the same like 3 or 4 decks that are super popular. But I did get the super busted card in Magic that's a blue-black, like for the blue-black rogue deck. If this doesn't mean anything to you, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But it's a busto card. And I got it finally. And now I can make the really stupid deck that does stupid things. But yeah, that's about it for me too. Any cool news or anything? I don't have anything.
Mass Effect is getting a fucking remaster.
Oh, so I'll just wait till the remaster to play.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, don't even buy it now. Just wait, and then see if that
cool.
even plays. But my main thing is, I'm just excited for the fact that I could possibly play Mass Effect 1 on the controller again, and not have issues. Just because on PC you can only play on mouse and keyboard, unless you want to map shit. But
I see.
Obviously, I'm too lazy for that.
Mass Effect's the one where it's like you can hold like left trigger, or you can hold a button and like other options do other things, right?
Yeah, it's because you played it's like the old BioWare games where like you can pause time essentially, and instead of, you know how like the Star Wars Knights KOTOR, you pause and you just click your skills. So this one just has a wheel of that. It was just more accessible for like consoles at the time. But
sick.
Yeah, no, I can't fucking wait. Like, we don't talk about Andromeda, that didn't happen. So this is like the most exciting thing ever.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
wait
like,
for that.
It's one game that happened when the trilogy is actually considered to be really great.
So
right.
Yeah.
Except for like maybe the last decision.
Yeah, like the last the final decision, sure, but in retrospect, it's honestly not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. Everyone was just upset at the time. I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, I get that. They're invested in
the petitions to like change the ending. I was like, no, guys, shut up. It's fine. It's whatever.
It's amazing.
That's my thing.
So yeah, cool. Then Hades.
Hades.
Right? Hades.
Great game.
Man.
He's finally got on that train.
Do you understand now, Ian, when we talked about it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. Do you guys know that Hades came out in 2018 technically?
Yes, that's when I bought it.
It's been
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Early access did a number on it.
I was gonna say I bought it. I remember when they dropped the news at the Game Awards. I was like, I'll wait maybe, and then all of a sudden, like I think 2 days later, I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy it. I like Supergiant. I'll just support it. Yeah. Fuck.
Man, yeah, it's great. I'm not even done technically.
I mean, same. And I think Luke's the only one that's actually gotten the.
Are you actually like finished with everything, Luke?
He's got the epilogue at least, right?
Or I'm sorry, I don't want to say everything, but are you finished with like all the story elements?
Most. I'm pretty sure 95% done with every single story piece.
Wow. Okay. Dang.
There's like a few achievements I see on Steam that might be related to certain stories that I think I know what to do. I just don't know how to unlock them yet. But like I've completed the main story. I've completed the epilogue. And I think my relationship with almost every single character you can like give gifts to, I have max relationship on.
Oh, okay. Heck yeah. How many hearts is that? Is it like 10 or something?
I think it's 10.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. That's not as bad. I was worried.
Oh man.
But, like some of them they have specific story beats you have to do to even unlock like the upper tier. So it's not as simple as just keep giving them the gift. You have to do certain things.
Right. Dude, one of the things that surprised me the most was for the shopkeeper, Karan. Like one day, this is something I like a lot about this game is I like a lot about this game is like things just kind of like happen and you don't really know why. Because I was doing a run, and when I got to the shop, all of a sudden there was this bag there.
Oh yeah,
of like 300 gold. I was like, oh, sick!
You fool!
300 gold, and I didn't even read it. Now I know it says borrow in quotes. I didn't even read it. I was like, oh, it's just gold to pick up a random boon or whatever.
Borrow in quotes, and it's like in red.
Yeah. It's like very telling. I didn't even read it, and then all of a sudden I was fighting Kara, and I was like, what is happening? It was great. It was hilarious. But yeah, or where are you at, Harrison? How many escapes have you made?
2. That's it.
Okay. Nice.
Sweet child.
Yeah.
I've made I think I did my third one today.
Hell yeah!
So I'm not that far from you either.
What are your favorite weapons?
Cause yeah. Ooh. Luke asked me this.
Not on the podcast.
Uh-huh. Let me think. I my definitely favorite, fists. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my favorite is the hidden aspect of the sword. Have you gotten any like hidden aspects unlocked, either of you?
Yeah, I've gotten. I think the spear.
Oh my god, I have the spear decked out.
Not the last, not the other ones, but hidden, the secret, the actual hidden
no,
one.
I haven't.
Yeah,
not yeah.
Oh,
you have that one though, Ian.
I have this. I have the goal on you.
Okay.
Oh,
it's amazing. Oh, it's such a It's kind of hard, but I just love the fact that it's. I'm sorry, Harrison, I'm spoiling it, but it's Guan Yu.
The amount of I honestly don't care for spoilers at this point.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's Guan Yu, and I love it. Yeah. It's great.
Is it better? Okay, so really quick question: is it better just to unload everything onto one weapon?
Oh, I don't have it maxed out like that. I'm sorry. I just. I mean that I have each of the aspects unlocked. I don't have it decked out though.
For pure progression, it's probably better if you want to you find your favorite weapon and you just max that one out. I do that because every time you complete a run, the weapons will cycle out, and if you use this specific one, you get extra darkness and gems. Right. And so I always do that. And so I have bits of every weapon, but it's probably best if you just find a weapon you really jive with and then just use that.
Mm-hmm. If you're going for maximum progression. Yeah. Because otherwise, just do it.
Yeah, otherwise just use whatever you want. But yeah, my favorite weapon, 100% favorite weapon is the hidden aspect of the sword.
Oh, okay. I don't have that unlocked yet. I think I might only have the spear unlocked for hidden. I think so. Yeah. What's your favorite, Harrison? In terms of just weaponry, you don't have to go to hidden aspect.
I like the spear and the I think shield for me.
Did that change? I thought you didn't like the spear.
Yeah, no, I like it more now. No, I didn't like the bow, but that's probably. I just I don't know if the different aspects will change that. I haven't delved into it, but
dude, I gotta tell you,
the aspects change the way you think of weapons.
Mm-hmm. No, the bow, because is it
I got
the last one? Is it the last one that's drastically different, right?
The last two I think play very different than the other two bows.
Okay.
Because there's the aspect of Hera, and then the secret aspect, and both of those are very, very different.
Okay. I just don't. I guess do you guys I guess my thing is just more. I don't like how you have to hold and then shoot and then all that. I just don't like being in one spot for so long.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. That was my complaint with the bow, because I really didn't like the bow, and I started using Hera's aspect.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and I actually really like it.
Okay.
Now. Okay. Because it plays more like a shotgun, where because the way it works is you load your cast into your next shot, and so you load it up and then you do your regular bow shot, but it does a lot more damage, so you don't feel like you have to stay in one spot as much.
Okay. Yeah, that was just my one thing with the bow, is I'm just kind of standing there. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I think my favorites are the fists, the bow. Probably the fist or the bow. Probably my favorites.
Okay.
I want to say spear just because I love pole arms and spears and stuff in general, but in terms of gameplay, I think I like
the fist too. Actually, now that I think about it, I do like the fist too.
Right. You a buster? You busting people with knucks? Going Canuckin'? But yeah, so I want to tell you, I had this, I just finished this today. It was a build with the bow, and I wish I had the second aspect on it, because I believe the second one is where when you hit somebody with your regular attack, your special all targets it.
Yeah, it homes
targets the last person you hit with your auto or with your attack.
Oh.
I wish I had that one, but I just had the normal one, and I got an ability that was, all right, well, it was a lot of stuff stacked together that just made it like insane. But I had my special doing more damage, and my special had crit chance. And then I had the one, I don't know if this is a, not the meter, but a dataless. I don't remember if this is a dataless one, but then I had each consecutive hit from my special made the next, like, do damage.
Next arrow does more damage. That's a dataless upgrade.
Yeah, it is dataless. Okay, yeah. So I had that, and so if I had the one where they all like target one dude, it would have been insane. But even though I didn't, I was still able to like escape, and it was still insane. I just did bucket tons of damage. Mm. I would dash behind him and then just I would crit insane amounts of damage. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was the greatest thing in the world. That was fantastic.
So, what other like roguelikes have we all played? Because we've all played Hades. I think. Mm-hmm. Have we all played Slay the Spire?
Yes, we've all played that.
Yes,
but I think that might be the only two we've played. I'm trying to think of
between all of us. Yeah,
I'm just curious because like I think part of the thing we wanted to talk about was just kind of how it compared to other roguelikes.
Have you guys played?
But
what's the one?
It's like there's FTL.
Yep, played that.
Binding of Isaac.
There's
Rogue Legacy.
Yeah, played that.
Played that. Have we all played Rogue Legacy?
I played it.
Wow. I played it. Yeah.
I didn't really like it.
Wow. Oh, really?
No, I didn't really like it at all, actually.
Oh. I love it.
You got like Enter the Gungeon, Exit the Gungeon, Spelunky.
Played Spelunky.
Mm-hmm. Moonlighter to an extent.
Yeah. I didn't play that one.
Ian's played that more than me.
Spelunky's great.
Man.
Yeah, I played Moonlighter.
What's the one that was the huge rage like last year? Was it last year?
Last year?
It's the one that's on Switch and I think. Hold
on. I know probably like one of the most famous ones has been Binding of Isaac.
It's the eye. The flaming eye.
Do you think you have Risk of Rain?
No, not Risk of Rain.
The eye, dude. What?
Oh, wait, no, that's not a roguelike.
It's the. Alright, here, you guys. Hold on. Oh, Dead Cells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Played that one a shit ton. Not that much.
Mm.
Yeah, I never played that one, but I think I watched you play it for a little bit. That looked cool. I like that one a lot.
I was gonna say, I think you guys have played more roguelikes or roguelike games than me, if anything.
Mm. Out of the ones you have, do you have like one that you like the most?
If it's not Hades, I think okay, so I think my thing is more with Rogue Legacy. I'm trying to remember what my issue was.
Yeah, wait, why didn't you guys like Rogue Legacy? Hit me with that.
You could go first. I'm trying to remember what my issue was.
So I feel like it's been a few years since I played, but I remember I just didn't really like their progression system. It felt kind of lackluster. And this a lot of it is in hindsight comparing to Hades, but I'm trying to think of just Rogue Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Their progression system felt kind of wonky, and I felt like the game it scaled way too fast. And if you tried to go for certain upgrades that weren't just raw damage, you kind of just got outscaled in the game. At least that's how I felt.
Mm.
And it felt like some of because the big selling point was that your character would die, and then an inheritor or like another family member from your family would try and take up your quest.
Right.
It felt like some of the quirks they gave you were just kind of more for fun or just kind of there, and they didn't really add to anything.
Yeah.
And obviously you had the choice. You could choose between I think they gave you 3 choices, but
yeah,
that just kind of got to the point of one is just inherently better, and if you pick these other quirks, then you're just doing it either to make it harder, to have fun, or you just randomly pick. And so it didn't that kind of level of difficulty just didn't make it very fun for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess, and just jumping off that, I think the reason, I guess my top 2 I like out of the ones I have are like Hades and Slay the Spire. Because Dead Cells was fun, but it also kind of felt more like it felt more like of a speedrunning roguelite, while like Slay the Spire, I could just kind of, I felt like, well, one, you're building your deck, so I feel like that's its own progression, and Hades just has a story, and then and I think that's my thing, is like that's why I'm not really hooked on a lot of, just hooked on this genre as much.
What do you mean by speed? Like, what makes Dead Cells a speed run?
They reward you more if you get to the next part fast. Like if you can just get if you get to it as fast as you can, you just get better stuff. So I felt like I was inclined to do it. I mean, you don't have to, obviously, because I almost never did. But it was like there's like 3 levels of like, oh, here's how fast you can get here. Like I think, let's say like 10, 5, and like 2 minutes, right? Like I don't remember the exact numbers. It's been a while, but
sure. But the idea of
it, I mean, I still had fun with it, because it was like, I think it was just cool, like how you could still keep certain things, obviously, and I think that's the main thing, is that you can keep certain things, and it feels like it was, it felt like it was, what's the word? Like it was worth it, right? Like versus, I think that's the other thing, is some people just like, I don't know how to word this, because I haven't played enough either, so I don't feel like I have a lot of experience with like rogues, really. But I think it's just there's a repetitive aspect that I personally am not. That's just with me in all things. Is like if I have to repeat certain things after a while, it's just kind of like boring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. I can see that. I'm super into. I'll listen to like. I think I'm super into repetition. I'll listen to the same song like 5 times in a row.
That's like the other thing too about Rogue Legacy is like the gameplay itself just wasn't very fun. Like the combat was relatively and literally 2-dimensional.
Yeah, like, it wasn't super in depth.
You didn't have a lot of options. Like you kind of knew what to expect, because you had your slashes, you had your like jump down spike, and then your special ability.
Rogue Legacy, right? Sorry, you said Roguelite, so I thought you meant like in general.
Sorry, Rogue Legacy. Like it's kind of not fair for Rogue Legacy, because it was one of the first, I think, more well-known roguelike games, and so it just inevitably everything gets compared to each other, and it just is lacking compared to the others. But it just didn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah, I get you. I really enjoyed it. I think it was like the whole inheritance thing that they were doing was like reminiscent of some of the like first generation of the like rogue games. I think what was it? I haven't played it, but I think Moria did it.
What's that?
Moria, I didn't know about this. But Moria is a roguelike that was based on Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
And this was done like after so Rogue, the reason roguelike games are called roguelikes is because of the game Rogue. So Rogue came, and then Moria, like the Mines of Moria, Moria came out after as a it's not a predecessor, but the opposite, a post-cessor. It was a post-cessor. But yeah, I didn't know about that. I thought that was insane. I was like, what? I did not know about this Lord of the Rings game. But I liked the inheritance system. I will agree the combat was you just kind of swung a sword. I think that was it. I think maybe there's one other attack button, but you just swing your sword. But did this come out around the same time as Binding of Isaac. When did that come out?
Because Rogue Legacy came out 2013.
2013. Okay, and
2011
Binding came out in 2011. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I would say, I guess it's interesting because Binding of Isaac also, it is also kind of one-dimensional, but, or at least in its base it's one-dimensional, because like, what do? You shoot people with your tears. But I think there's like so many like power-ups and stuff in the game that can change how you play the game so much and vary it so much more. That I think it's like a much more successful. It's more successful in that aspect than Rogue Legacy.
Wait, so what are your favorites, both of you, or I guess Luke?
I mean, my favorite is like far and above Hades. I think it is the best roguelike. And like none of the other, like Slay the Spire is probably my second. But I kind of put them in two different genres because it's like kind of deck building. It's like a deck building roguelike versus kind of your more traditional roguelike. But Hades, I think, is just such a well designed game that I don't think any other roguelike would even come close for me. And it's like, so my big thing is one, I just really like Supergiant as a studio. Hades' art style and aesthetic is amazing. Their music is amazing. Their writing is amazing. But in terms of the actual game itself, it offers way more, both just quantity of options, but also how in-depth and how unique you can customize a bunch of your gameplay choices, because you have the mirror, which is a really in-depth system of how you choose to play your game, is one. And then you have 6 weapons, and each weapon has 4 forms. So you have effectively 24 weapons to choose from. And then outside of all that, you have the Pact of Punishment system, which is their like meta difficulty. And there are so many small ways to just tailor the game to, like, I want my game to be difficult in this specific kind of way. And other roguelikes, I think, don't kind of, they don't match that style, where the roguelikes are difficult because, you know, you don't have the right weapons, or the game scales in such a way where the difficulty curve is kind of one-dimensional. But in Hades, like, when I say, oh, I'm on a heat level 8, and then Ian is on a heat level 8, our heat levels could be completely different, and we play the game so much more differently than any other person. Whereas with other roguelikes, people tend to, you would eventually go into the same cycle of how you play the game. Sorry, that was a lot.
I think I disagree with that.
Ooh.
I think, yeah, I would say bad roguelikes, yes. Well, maybe even that's too broad. But like, I don't, and maybe I'm talking out my ass here, but I think, like, let's say Binding of Isaac, there's so many like different variations of like, and combinations of abilities that it wouldn't like let's take well just in like casual play, there would never be like a, because of the like randomness of your power-ups and stuff, there's never going to be like a thing that you can go for, like a specific like a specific build that you go for. I mean, you could try, but the amount of like randomness in the power-ups, it's like really hard to do. Just because the amount of their power-ups are insane. Like, if you Google a picture of them, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's kind of why, like, hang on, I have to sneeze.
Yeah, go for it.
Kind of what I like about Hades is it gives you a certain degree of control over the randomness. Like, I mean, one of the big selling points of roguelikes is that every run is different, and you'll never have like a way to be consistent. And that's both true and false with Hades, because you, like, after you get certain upgrades with the mirror, it lets you at least manipulate parts of some of the options you're given. But I think what separates, and granted, I haven't played a lot of Binding of Isaac, so I never really got into the nitty gritty. Like, I think I'm at over 100 hours for Hades. But it's not just like the way your character progresses within a run, but just how different you can make a run just with the Pact of Punishment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what separates it, is just because when I play, I could just set it where everything's normal except all the bosses are harder, or everything but the bosses is harder, or like any weird combination of, where like I can set a time limit. If I select this, then I lose my power up, so I have to choose. I either choose what power ups I go for, or I go out of my way to pick up power ups I'm willing to throw away later, and it all mixes into this really cool, unique difficulty.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, 100%. I think that was one of the problems with I love Moonlighter, but I think that was one of my problems with Moonlighter was the dungeon layouts were eventually, they all became kind of the same.
Yeah.
In terms of like the rooms, all like, obviously it was randomly generated, but they had like a set of room designs.
I felt like there was almost a
layouts.
set combination sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they kind of, you're right, because they kind of worked it in the way that the exit was always like north of the fountain, or the hot tub.
Yeah, the hot spring. Yeah.
That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, it was all, so they have it set up like that, but what I think Hades does well in that terms of like create something that's so different, and I am starting to see like similar rooms, but in Hades you have these environments that are so different, so you're not,
it's the illusion,
staying in the same place. Yeah, exactly. But in Moonlighter, it's, the room is always the same, right? Like, it's always the square box and different things inside it. And so even though they have different dungeons that change the look of the environment, because you're running through those dungeons again and again to get like items for your shop and stuff, it's becomes very
it becomes very apparent. It becomes very, you'll understand the layout because there's not a huge variety, which I think that's, and
you can almost expect what you're going to see.
I mean, it's kind of like, my thing was like, I've noticed, like, for instance, it's a part of the system, so it's, Hades also has that too, where like you can kind of figure out like the order of certain things. It's like, oh, I'm about to hit the boss because I'm about to get this, but that's not bad though. It's just like, that's probably one similarity to that.
Yeah, and there are like rooms that I've definitely become familiar with as well. But yeah, I do like the variety. The variety in Hades is more vast than a lot, and more like in depth as well. Like, it's over a lot of different aspects of the game, and then it dives deep into those aspects a lot. Because there are a ton of those, not the banishment scroll, what is it called? The thing that you were talking about, Luke?
Pact of Punishment?
Pact, yeah, the punishment pact.
Are you talking about that, or are you talking about the chaos?
There's a ton of options.
Oh, okay, no, never mind. Okay, just making sure. That you meant throughout.
No, I'm talking about just like, when you start a run, you have options to like customize difficulty.
Yeah, and that's insane.
And
that's really interesting to see in terms of like speed running and stuff.
They get really wild. Like, I'm assuming you guys haven't picked the boss ones yet.
I have,
but
I have.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm. The Hydra gets wicked. That fight.
What is your heat level? Today. I guess. What is your heat level, Ian?
So I didn't realize. I think I haven't cleared it up to 2. Like fully. But I didn't today I just did a run with heat level 8 because I thought it was making me stay like at 1 and then I had to beat 1 and then beat 2. I thought it was doing it like that, but you don't have to. You can just put as much as you want. So okay. So I tried the 8 today because why did I pick 8? There was a reason. Because I just unlocked there's like 3 there's like 3 little indentions at the bottom of the training area.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's 3 of those things, and I've the first unlock you have to get 8 on. You have to beat heat level 8 run.
Have you seen all the bosses with their updated?
Not all of them though. Yeah.
Okay. Have you done the mini bosses?
I didn't know there was mini boss ones.
There's one specific to mini boss. It's a different option, but it does mini bosses.
Is it the one that like is you get an extra enemy with armor?
No.
Oh, huh. I haven't seen that. I need to look.
I think it just says it changes. It adds another complication or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because like some of those things start getting wild.
How far have you done, Harrison, with the boss thing? Did you do the first one?
I think I was working on the first one because I figured that out. It took me a bit too.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, yep, took me a bit to figure that out. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I thought you were locked at one also. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just do one. But yeah. I was trying that essentially before I started playing Apex and Destiny more. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. But yeah, the one of the things I wanted to like bring it around to, speaking of like the randomness and stuff of it, was how like, and I don't know, maybe this is something I can just Google, but I'm curious if roguelikes kind of brought about the rise of like randomizers with like ROM hacks and things like that. Because let me see if I can.
I want to say yes, but I think it's also like with ROM hacks. I mean, the biggest ones are like really just the ones I think are really popular. Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. Pokemon. I think a lot of Legend of Zelda ones are popular too.
Part of it, I think it's with those at least. It's just more like, oh, someone just really likes Pokemon, but they also just want it to be hard. You know, like, because it's just with Pokemon recently, it just feels very easy and samey. So,
true.
Yeah, because people have done the same thing. The biggest randomizer set I know are like Dark Souls randomizers.
Oh,
and it's just a way to keep like it might not be directly related, but kind of in the spirit of like roguelikes are fun because no run is the same. Kind of like it's a new experience and it's just a new difficulty when you don't expect what you're expecting. Because that's what they did with Dark Souls 2 when they did Scholar of the First Sin as like a major DLC. One of the big selling points was that they changed enemy spawns just so it was different. And so it just made people really excited. And that Scholar of the First Sin was... Let me see when it came out.
Wait, this was for...
That was 2015.
Okay. Makes sense.
And so, like, roguelikes have been out for a while since then, but I think it kind of hits that same spirit of we want to make the game more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys seen the it's the Super Metroid with A Link to the Past randomizer?
I think I have. I think you mentioned that too.
You mentioned it to me once.
Dude, it's wild. I'm going to mention it again because literally they take A Link to the Past and Super Metroid and they basically combine them together. So there could be like doors, like you could walk into a house in Link to the Past, and you walk out of a door in Metroid. It's wild. And then on top of that, all of the things are randomized together as well, I think. So I think you could like find a missile in Link to the Past, and then it would be a missile for Metroid. It's insane. I loved watching that. I watched they did it. I think they did like a GDQ did a speedrun for it or something like that. I think that's where I saw that.
Sounds like something they would do.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious about that, I guess. I was looking it up. I haven't found anything, but kind of like saying it was or wasn't a direct inspiration or anything like that. But yeah, I think Luke's right.
I mean,
man,
it's all just based off the game. Like, wasn't Rogue just like the OG game or some shit?
Yeah. Rogue was the OG one. I've never touched that, but
oh yeah, like 1980. Damn.
Yeah, that came way before us. I didn't actually like realize, cause I guess I never realized Rogue. They've had like a surge in popularity, I guess. I would say even Isaac the Binding was probably the like
Isaac the Binding.
Wait, the Binding of Isaac.
Sure, whatever. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Right. The Binding of Isaac was probably like the second, like, or a resurgence in popularity for roguelikes. That was probably like the beginning of it.
Technically, also wouldn't be, just thinking, Diablo is technically rogue-like in essence, right? Or is that just,
no.
Is dungeon crawling not considered that?
It's just a dungeon crawler. No. Because if you die, you don't lose your stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like roguelite.
Or
whatever the word is. I'm confused myself with the words now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, according to the wiki, I was looking at Moria earlier, which is why I brought it up. But apparently Moria influenced the preliminary design of Diablo. So it's definitely like an inspo. But I don't think I would call it a roguelike.
Yeah. I wouldn't out say like, oh yeah, this is definitely one. I'm just saying like it has aspects of it too, right?
I would coin a new word called rogue inspo. So now we have roguelites, roguelikes, and rogue inspo.
What's roguelike then?
Well, I thought rogue.
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh wait, maybe that's just roguelite.
Roguelite is like I know.
Fuck it. I don't care.
Is like there's actual progression. It's not like a hard reset.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So then rogue inspo is just borrowing aspects.
Oh my gosh!
Still don't make
shit.
it. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I was just making fun of it. But yeah. I don't think I would call that a roguelite.
You're throwing some stuff out there.
Like,
because I have no idea.
But I mean, it definitely borrows like aspects of it, right? Because your like loot and your drops aren't like the same all the time.
Yeah, I mean, dungeon layouts to me are like random-esque, like rooms.
I mean, then that's just like, is Destiny a roguelike? Because your random drops.
Well, not like even the gameplay itself is like, oh, the rooms are randomized, isn't it? To an extent.
Oh, are they? I don't know.
Like
I
the layout.
a lot of Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
Diablo? Yeah, the rooms are randomly generated.
So that's kind of okay. That was what I was trying to go for. Not the loot, really, but like, yeah.
Oh, I see. The rooms are interesting.
So for the main campaign, I don't think for the main campaign. But when you go into like, if you go into rifts and greater rifts, then yes, they are randomly generated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Sorry, not like
sick.
Because not Destiny.
Yeah. So, would you agree then, Harrison? Is Hades your favorite?
So it's my favorite also for almost the same reasons as Luke, is that I like some I like being able to customize like some difficulty, But I do understand that some people just like it's the flip side is you can play if it's a roguelike game and you just are good at the game, you can figure it out on your own with the system, sure. But I guess Hades just adds another layer on top of that, just to like it's your own personal like difficulty, I guess. Versus it's just getting hard because I'm getting further in the game, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you. The one thing I do remember about Rogue Legacy was that once you get to like the fourth area, which was like the basement or whatever, things are just they do so much damage and they're so tanky that I agree with like Luke when he was talking about that earlier, was that it just becomes insane.
Yeah, like their level of power scaling is just
like
kind of the thing I hate. Where just give it more health and make it just do more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I think Rogue Legacy is probably not Rogue Legacy. I think Hades is probably my favorite as well. Because
you make it sound so negative.
Like, really?
Yeah,
I'm
just I guess Hades is my favorite too.
I'm just thinking about like other
ones. I mean, I say that only because
I can't think of any.
I say that only because of things that are not the rogue aspect of it either. Because I was gonna like usually I wouldn't play these kind of games, to be honest. That's the thing. So Hades just has that pull for me.
Wouldn't you? You played Dead Cells.
I didn't put as much time. I will say I did not put as much time as you guys either. I like the amount of time. If you compare me to you guys, like the amount of time I put into those games is like very bare minimum. Like I probably played like a few hours, but not like this is like all I'm playing. Yeah, it's enough to try it out. I'm like, all right, I have a good impression of it. So that's why every time like it's kind of hard for me to like give my input on this because honest, it's kind of like I'll play it, but honestly, it's not my cup of tea, really. But that's why it's like Dead Cells just had like a Metroidvania aspect to it, which I was like, oh, this is cool. That's different. So Inspire, right. Oh, this is a card, like it's a deck building thing. Oh, that's cool. It's different. There's like, yeah. So I mean, there's pools. There's certain games that have a pool. Like Moonlighter, I think the reason why I was so interested is because you're explaining like the system. Like it's not just dungeon crawling, but it's also the shop. It's like, oh, when you pick up items, you have to deal with that mini game in itself. So I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Shop seller.
So honestly, like if I read more into other games, I probably hear like, oh, this is a cool twist on it. Sure, I'll probably try it. But ironically, I just there's a certain amount of repetitiveness that I don't care for. Like obviously, certain games you have to do certain things over and over again. But I think with these, it feels like that is the main driving point of the game is you want to progress, but that's the whole point, in my opinion. Which is not like a huge thing. Which is kind of ironic when I used to just bounty grind for Destiny, and that's just a loop in and of itself. But to me, I'm like working towards like doing a raid, for instance. While here, it's like, oh, I'm just trying to get for like let's see how far I can get, you know. So I think that's just my thing with roguelites, all that shit.
I think, I think for me, I don't particularly like I think I would have the same mentality as you if it was like a true rogue game,
right? Yeah,
where there was like no progression. I don't think I would end up playing that as much. But if you give me like some kind of semblance of progression, then I'm more.
Which a lot more games now recently have done better about it. So honestly, it's just a matter of like I just haven't sat down and tried a lot of them. Probably like put in like good amount of time.
No, I feel you. Yeah, and I don't mean to sound negative about.
It's great.
Hades being my favorite. I like don't have a problem with that at all. But it's for a lot of the same reasons, and a lot of it, I think, is also like just Supergiant making like really good design choices. And something I really like about Supergiant is that you can actually kind of like see the culmination of this game if you look at their like catalog. because you have like, if you think about Bastion and how that was, and then you think about Transistor and how that played, a lot of it like culminates like a lot of, like if you throw those two games together, put them in like Greek
that's
setting,
basically Hades'
it's
combat
basically
system.
Hades. Yeah,
and you throw in Pyre's like funkiness.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so cool to like see that. But yeah. Well, the point I guess we got down to is Hades is good.
Good.
Hades is good. You should play it. And I don't really have anything else, any other aspects. I just kind of want to talk about roguelikes a lot because I like them a lot. Do you guys have anything you want to add or any questions you want to dive into?
I'm raising my hand. You didn't.
Oh.
Come on, man.
See,
sorry, I don't.
I am not like Nova, as in I don't have laser or infinity vision. Is that a power Nova has?
No.
Well, listen, I'm just trying to bring it around in a full circle here.
What if comics are a roguelike?
They keep dying and they come
full
back.
circle enough for you?
It never ends.
Wow.
Oh man.
I mean,
wow.
Batman is basically a roguelike.
Whoa.
Superman's died so many times.
Brain blast.
Oh man.
Some gigabrain.
Gigabrain.
5-head nonsense.
But yeah. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else to say, we can get out of here. Go play Hades. Hades is a great game. It's been out for 2 years. It seems ridiculous. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can tweet us any topic or suggestions or questions at SuperBoss Podcast. At SuperBoss Pod, or even email us at superbossfeedback@gmail.com. And you can follow us on YouTube. Just type in SuperBoss into the search bar. You know what our logo looks like. Facebook. Please let us know how we're doing, and yeah, give us any
let us know how we beat.
Just give us a comment.
Let us know how we do.
Yeah, let us know how we do. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you, honestly.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time. You're the best. Bye-bye. You're the best. Bye-bye. You're the best. Bye-bye. You're the best. Bye-bye.